Two sisters, dressed impeccably in matching suits, boarded a flight from Los Angeles to Berlin. They were not just any travelers. They were successful business owners, tech innovators, and co-founders of a rapidly growing cybersecurity firm. The sisters, Tasha and Amara King, had been invited to deliver a keynote speech at a prestigious global tech conference, and they were eager to finalize their presentation on the flight. Seated comfortably in first class, they reviewed their notes, discussing the key points they would cover at the conference. It was a rare moment of calm before a busy week ahead. But just as they were getting comfortable, an airline staff member approached them, holding a clipboard. "Excuse me," the attendant said. "We need to move you to another seat. These seats are needed for a high-priority customer." The high-priority customer, it turned out, was a middle-aged, well-dressed man who had just boarded from economy class. He was a white executive with a stern expression, making his way toward the empty seat beside the sisters. The attendant glanced nervously between Tasha and Amara as they exchanged a look. They had been through this before. "Are our names not listed on these seats?" Amara asked calmly, her voice steady. The attendant hesitated before responding. "We're asking this as a courtesy to a frequent flyer. He's been loyal to us for many years." Tasha could feel the frustration rising within her, but she kept her composure. She knew this wasn't about the seats. It was about something deeper, something that happened far too often. They weren't just being asked to move, they were being treated as if they didn't belong. Without raising her voice, Tasha took out her phone and made a call. But this wasn't a call to their PR team or a public relations crisis manager. She dialed her business partner, Adam Sinclair, the vice president of global contracts at their company. Adam had been the one to negotiate a high-profile cybersecurity deal with the airline just a few months earlier. "Adam, we have a situation. We're being asked to give up our seats for a passenger who just came from economy," Tasha explained, her voice cool but firm. Adam's response was immediate and authoritative. "Stay where you are. I'll handle this." Moments later, the captain of the plane appeared, his usual calm demeanor replaced with visible tension. He approached the sisters with an apology. "I'm truly sorry for the inconvenience. Please remain in your seats. We are addressing the issue." The executive, still standing awkwardly near the aisle, was escorted back to his economy seat without a word, his plans interrupted. The flight continued without further incident, but the ripple effect was just beginning. By the time the plane landed in Berlin, the incident had already made its way to the airline's corporate headquarters. The company's CEO was furious, not at the sisters, but the scandal rapidly unfolding on social media. Someone had recorded the confrontation, and the footage had gone viral within hours. Headlines exploded across the internet. Tech entrepreneurs treated like second-class citizens and business leaders relegated to coach. The airline's PR team scrambled to issue a public apology, but it was too little, too late. Tasha and Amara weren't interested in the apology. Instead, Adam made another call, reminding the airline of the lucrative deal they stood to lose. The cybersecurity contract, worth tens of millions of dollars, was now in jeopardy. The consequences were swift. Within days, the flight crew involved in the incident, along with several other key personnel, was dismissed. The company's diversity officer resigned, and the airline's leadership understood one thing clearly: respect and equity had to go beyond just code and policies. It had to be reflected in every action. Despite the media frenzy, Tasha and Amara chose not to comment publicly. Their message was clear without needing to say a word. In a quiet interview later, Amara shared a line that would be remembered. "We weren't angry. We were prepared." This simple yet powerful statement spread like wildfire. It became more than just a quote. It became a rallying cry for those who had experienced similar disrespect. Their speech in Berlin was met with a standing ovation, not just for their business acumen, but for their poise in the face of adversity. They had turned a moment of injustice into a testament to their strength and grace. This wasn't just about a seat on a plane. It was about how, even at the top, people of color, especially women, are still often treated as if they must prove their worth. It was about standing tall, even when society tries to knock you down. As Tasha and Amara's story made waves across the media, it became clear that what had unfolded on that flight was far more than a case of poor customer service or an isolated incident. It was a stark reminder of how, despite the significant strides women of color have made in industries where they were once underrepresented, they are still often subjected to microaggressions, prejudice, and inequity. What happened on that flight was not a random event. It was part of a broader pattern, one that persists in workplaces, public spaces, and even in the most professional settings. Their experience resonated with so many people, not just because of their success, but because it was a moment of empowerment. Tasha and Amara didn't react with anger, nor did they seek to escalate the confrontation. Instead, they relied on their preparation, their intelligence, and their network. They didn't need to shout or demand apologies. They stood firm in their rights, leveraging their influence to send a clear message. Respect isn't a privilege, it's a right. And that's a lesson that goes far beyond business or travel. It's a lesson for life. In today's world, the expectations for equality and fairness are rising higher. It's no longer enough for corporations to simply talk about diversity. Their actions must reflect their words. The fallout from the incident showed just how powerful the collective voice of the people is. The viral spread of the story was not just a call for justice in the specific context of the airline, but a broader demand for systemic change. The consequences faced by the airline, dismissing key staff members, losing lucrative contracts, were a direct result of their failure to address the issue appropriately in the first place. This story was a reminder that actions have consequences, and the choices we make as organizations, leaders, or individuals affect more than just our bottom line. They shape public perception, trust, and respect. But while the corporate world quickly responded, it was the social media conversation that made it clear the issue went far beyond one incident on a plane. Tasha and Amara's quiet strength became a rallying cry for people from all walks of life who had faced similar challenges. It prompted reflection on how often these moments go unnoticed, unchallenged, or dismissed when they happen behind closed doors, without a camera or viral post to bring them to light. The hashtag Respect Not Privilege hashtag that followed the incident wasn't just a momentary trend. It was a symbol of what's possible when people stand together against systemic bias. The story also served as a reminder of the work that still lies ahead. While Tasha and Amara's experience in first class highlighted a specific issue, there are countless other places where similar treatment happens without public scrutiny. Whether in boardrooms, classrooms, or any professional environment, it's a reminder that inequality is not always overt, but rather subtle and insidious. For Tasha and Amara, this incident became a pivotal moment in their careers. Their speech in Berlin was more than a recognition of their achievements. It highlighted their resilience and leadership. They showed that dignity, defended with calm confidence, can achieve more than anger. The incident wasn't just about fairness. It demonstrated how thoughtful power can change the world. Tasha and Amara's story inspires us to reflect on how we treat others and what we value.